Let's celebrate your 2025 because however this past year went for you, you did it. Yay, you! Welcome back to the Aligned Actor PodTubeStack. I'm Amy Schloerb, your friendly internet mindfulness and mindset coach for actors and creatives, pretty much anybody who has chosen bravely the creative life career. We're all riding that roller coaster of ups and downs, twists and turns. We never know what's coming next, but we're doing it. We're doing it, friends. It's not for everyone, but we chose this life because our craft lights us up like nothing else, and we deserve to thrive. Physically, mentally, emotionally, we deserve to thrive in all of the ways, and we deserve to thrive all the time in our actor life. So here's a way that we can do that. If you spent any time at all in my world, you know that one of my favorite mottos is ABC. Always be celebrating. I'm going to say that again for you. ABC, always be celebrating. I celebrate everything. I celebrate every time I record a PodTubeStack. I celebrate every time I keep going after I flubbed something and I'm okay with it. I celebrate every time I complete a workout. I celebrate every time I skip a glass of wine in the evening. I celebrate every time I submit a self-tape. I celebrate every time I teach a workshop or I have a session with a client. I celebrate all the time. Celebrating throughout my day is a fun thing to do, and it makes both my body and my brain feel really, really good. It's also a surefire way for me to boost my motivation and my self-esteem. And both of those things are really, really, really important elements of a strong and positive mindset. So celebration builds motivation because celebration activates the reward center of our brain. We get this little hit of dopamine, which makes us feel really good. And then we associate that good feeling with whatever we're celebrating. And as a result, we tend to seek out ways to do that thing again. So celebrating after I record a PodTubeStack motivates me to record more PodTubeStacks because my brain associates, oh, creating content, good feelings. So of course it wants to create more content to get more good feelings. Celebration also boosts and builds self-esteem because on a deeper level, what I'm really doing when I'm celebrating, hey, I did a PodTubeStack, I'm making this content, it makes me feel positive about myself because I did that thing. Yeah? Celebrating after I submit a self-tape, for example, it makes me feel really good about myself as an actor. It boosts my self-esteem because regardless of the outcome, I did my work. I showed up, I did the scene, I played the character, it was my character during that audition, and then I shared that work with the industry. So good job, me. It's worth celebrating. So celebration, because it builds motivation and it builds self-esteem, it builds a really positive, healthy mindset. Because feeling motivated, feeling confident in myself, it's a really, really healthy headspace to be in as an actor. Because that mindset keeps us focused and it keeps us taking action on our goals in a really kind and supportive way. So instead of letting our inner critic bully and berate us using tactics that make us feel really awful about ourselves, so stuff like, oh, you're really lazy, so it's about time that you got off your ass and recorded a podcast. Celebration, instead, activates our inner superfan. Woohoo, you're awesome! You did it! Yay! Our inner superfan is the one who cheers us on and makes us feel really good about ourselves. So think back to your school days and your favorite teachers. And I bet the ones that you remember most fondly are the ones who encouraged you, who celebrated your progress, made you feel really good about yourself. And I bet you did better in their classes too. So if you want the ultimate productivity hack, it's encouraging yourself, cheering yourself on, boosting your motivation and your self-esteem in a positive, loving way, instead of in a berate and beat with a stick kind of way. As adults, we get to decide which approach we want to take with ourselves now. And I know which one I prefer. So I have an exercise for you because hopefully now I've sold you on celebration enough. And I want to get you started with your own intentional celebration practice by celebrating your 2025, however your 2025 looked for you. So this is an exercise that I use with my clients, and it can feel a little awkward at first, but when folks get going with this, it lights them up like nothing else. It's an intentional rampaging process, and it will help you acknowledge and celebrate yourself. So all you're going to do is complete the phrase, I'm proud of myself for, over and over and over and over and over again. And you can do this out loud, or you can do this in written form. So just as a little tiny example, I'm proud of myself for recording my second PodTubeStack of the day. I'm proud of myself for the shoulder workout I just did. I'm proud of myself for messing up, my whole motto, ABC, always be celebrating. And then deciding I'm just going to take that back and keep going, and I'm not going to edit it out. I'm proud of myself for just continuing on, not getting upset with myself. I'm proud of myself for that. I'm proud of myself for listing some things that I'm proud of myself for. You get the idea. You just keep saying, I'm proud of myself for, and then fill in the blank. And you just keep going and going and going and going and going for as long as you can. Now, a really important note about this is that if you're the type of person to downplay your accomplishments because you fear that celebrating them would turn you into an insufferable braggart, please know that this exercise is entirely different from that. This is not bragging. This process is meant for you and you alone. You're not going to go posting all of this on the internet. I realize I just stated a bunch of I'm proud of myself for examples for you, but those were examples and it's okay. So yeah, it's just for you. This is not bragging. It's just to help you feel good about yourself by acknowledging things that you did, ways that you showed up this year. That's not bragging. It's acknowledging and celebrating yourself. And like I said a little bit earlier, you're just boosting your self-esteem and your motivation. And those are hugely important elements for your overall mindset. So I really encourage you, take this seriously. Give yourself this gift. Take some time to sit down and say, I'm proud of myself for the way I showed up this year. I'm proud of myself for the fact that I did this new thing this year. I'm proud of myself for sitting down and saying I'm proud of myself for some things. I'm proud of myself for whatever it is. Because you did a lot this year. And you deserve to acknowledge all the great things that you did, all the great ways that you humaned in the world, all the great ways that you acted in the world this year. And I want you to celebrate and acknowledge that for yourself. So go wild with celebration for yourself. That's what I have for you today, friends. If you found this content helpful or inspiring, I would be ever so honored if you would leave a comment, share this with a pal in whatever way you found it, buy me a coffee, consider becoming a paid subscriber on my Substack. If you do become a paid subscriber, I do community Zooms, so it's kind of like office hours, and you get to have access to me, and we'll do some mindfulness, and we'll do some community-based mindset coaching. It's pretty fun. So yeah, thank you so much for being here today. You can also go check out my website, thealignedactor.com, to find out more about me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.